Guys. Yeah, we're live now with about 2 minutes to spare. Okay. Well, I did say we're gonna go live at 10, so just let me fix this up a bit. Just want this to be more in the middle. There we are. I think I'm good now. Got one more minute. Okay. Good. I'm good now. And I have to my side, I was working with the Turner watercolor paints. So I might work with these again. I'm not sure. Because you know how we do it. We normally roll the dice and figure out what we're going to do. And then I prepare on what I want. The buzzing in the background is the fan because today is really hot. It's kind of weird because we had like 4 months of no rain. It just heat. Literally, it was like we were under a constant heat wave since March. It was like almost 4 months of constant heat. Almost like since, let's say, late February heat. And now we had 4 days of rain. So it's been, what's the word? It's been cool for 4 days, but it was still hot. It was still hot. Even though the rain had started, it's still very much hot. Right now, the weather is a little bleaky, so I'm hoping it doesn't rain. Last live stream, it was in the middle of a rainstorm. Some of my friends thought it was very soothing ASMR. I don't like the rain or thunder and lightning, so you can basically hear me freaking out and having a slight panic attack during that stream. Great times, great times. Right now, I did something. I made a board for this live stream. So the board basically have the mediums in broad umbrellas, acrylic, pencils, crayons or pastels, watercolor, alcohol, and gouache. And then, thank you so much for the like. And underneath each broad umbrella, it's specific. Whether it's acrylic, we can use markers, paints, or inks, because I do have acrylic inks. Even though I don't use acrylic a lot, I do have acrylic paints and acrylic markers and acrylic inks. Pencils, it could be graphite, it could be regular color pencils, chalk pastel pencils, charcoal, watercolor pencils, or Inktense. For crayons or pastels, we can use regular crayons, oil pastel, graphite pastels. We do have those. Watercolor crayons, soft or chalk pastels, or Inktense. For watercolor, you would think I have watercolor pencils and crayons here. No, I have paints in tubes, markers, inks, Inktense, paints in pans, paints in tubes, and watercolor sticks. When it comes to alcohol, I have both alcohol markers and inks, and gouache, I have the gouache in the pans, gouache in the tubes, and gouache in the tub. So I kind of revised my little game that I play every Saturday for you guys. And on the reverse, let's say I don't want to draw and I have absolutely nothing planned to do with you guys. I could draw and paint. I could do a coloring book because I do have coloring books. We can do a watercolor paint making session for the 2 hours. We can render a drawing, basically just color one of the drawings I have, because I have several sketchbooks with drawings in them that haven't been colored in, so we can do one of those. We can do a project. I have some projects in here that I have been neglecting, and I could do bookbinding. So there's several little things that we can do for these live streams. It's just playing a game. And for the dice, I do have a bigger dice this time. Actually, this dice I use a lot for like when I'm undecided of what I want to do, I pull this dice out. So I'm gonna roll it up. And I think I want to do a drawing today, so we're gonna keep it on this side of the board. And first we're going to choose what medium we're going to use, and then we're going to choose what out of that medium specifically we're going to use. Oh, let's see if I get a favorable one. I got 5. Now 5 can either be, it's alcohol, so it can either be alcohol markers or ink. Let's see. Now, if it's alcohol markers, it just goes odds and evens. So if I get an odd number, it is alcohol markers. If I get an even number, it is alcohol inks. Let's see what I get. 6. That's an even number, so I have to go and grab my alcohol inks to work with. And I think I'm going to be using watercolor papers for that one. Mainly because I do have Yupo paper, but the Yupo paper I have is really small. I don't have a really big collection of Yupo paper. Okay, so let me grab the alcohol inks that I have first. And I'll put this away since we're not working with watercolors, but we're actually working with alcohol markers. So give me 30 seconds because everything is within arm's reach. You can continue chatting with me because I do have my stuff near. So how is the weather where you are? Here is the alcohol inks. Told you 30 seconds. Everything is within arm's reach. And if you notice, look at my beautiful little, yeah, that's to tell you how much use these have had. Very little use. Now these alcohol inks, I must confess, are homemade. They're not, what's the word? They're homemade. I made these myself. A friend gave me the recipe and I made them. So these are how my bottles look. Yeah. So I have 8 colors in my alcohol inks. This is, I have red, which is kind of like a cadmium red, that kind of orange red hue. I have this one named Rose. I have yellow. I have 2 yellows, but they're both different yellows. I have this one, green. I have 2 reds and 2 blues, 1 green. So I have 8 inks in total. Now I don't have, let me put these to the side. I do have some Yupo paper, but I have this, which is the mini artist pad complete set. Now these are the sample sets from Stonehenge. And we should be working through our stuff, so Let's see what is in here. Wait, something is wrong because I'm seeing the, but then I see like it's different for some reason. Okay, so a couple of them are not, yeah, a couple of them are not proper. So this one is the hot press sample set, the black sample set, the heavy duty cold press sample set. These are the Yupo papers that are good for alcohol inks. This is the craft paper sample set, the light paper sample set, the warm paper sample set. I think this is just a drawing paper sample set. They're white paper and they're colored paper. So I do have the sample set, and I do have these 3 Yupo sample sets here. Never used them a day in my life. So we have transparent Yupo, medium weight, and heavyweight Yupo paper. But I think these are good for alcohol inks. I think I might need to put down a guard. Oh, this is really thick. So I'll put that up. Let me see if I can grab a guard here. This is very interesting. Where is my guard? I don't seem to find my guard. That's not nice, guys. That is not nice. The beautiful thing about my live stream is that it's so out of character for me. Because most of my... Okay, I found my guard. Most of my videos are so well constructed, and my live streams are not. So I need to put this a little further away. I found what I wanted so I could put you up. This is my guard. It's just a very old 2020 calendar. But I've done a lot of stuff on this old calendar sheet here. I have gessoed. I've done a lot on it. And I have 2. I think for this experiment, I'm gonna put 2 down. I'm gonna grab this, scissors. The beauty thing about these live streams is that you get to see what I do live and in living color. It's like all this prep work I would have probably already done in any other videos, but for the live stream, because I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do these prep work. This is just double-sided tape because I want the paper to adhere to my desk. I have the fan on, that's why it's blowing. Hi, how are you? You're so lucky. Okay, so I put it on the 2. Mucho besitos. As my husband is in the chat. Okay, so I have my stuff down. We're working on 2 papers now. I think I want to work on the transparent one first, because I've never worked on these papers before. Oh my goodness. Never, ever worked on these papers before. I should put this here. And I think with, and put maybe one of the eggs here. And I think with alcohol inks, I have, because I was watercoloring, I have what's the word? I have, let me push this in a bit. I have my water jars already out because I was watercoloring. Now let's make a mess and mistakes. Never done them before. Okay. Do I? There we go. I might need to take this off a bit. Okay, let's use one of these yellows here. Okay. Let's use this yellow here. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I honestly don't know what I'm doing, so please help. I've never worked with these before. Please help. Let me grab a brush. I was doing some painting earlier. Oh my goodness, that green just basically took everything over. Can I erase this and come back again? The green basically took everything over. I thought it was going to leave some of the yellow out, but it didn't. Now that looks like a royal mess. Look at that. It's a royal mess. Can I eraser it? Oh gosh. Can I eraser it and come back again? Does this paper allow me to erase? Well, see, it's messed here, so... Does this paper allow me to... Guys, help. I've never worked with this paper before. Never. Well, I erased it. I did. See? It felt plasticky, so I said, okay, maybe I could erase it. I just put it under running water, and that was it. I've never worked with this paper before. And it was a royal mess. This is a transparent one I'm using. Sorry. I'm just showing the paper that I'm using, which is this one here. And I've never worked with it before. I don't know. How do you work with this paper? Would someone help me with alcohol-based inks? Because the green just basically took over everything. And it wasn't nice. It really wasn't. So please help. What I'm doing, this is the U-Pop here. I'm just going to set this aside and get to something that's a bit more familiar to me. And that would be a pencil and a pen. Yes. That's a bit more familiar to me. So. Because that was a royal disaster. This is watercolor paper. This is a sketchbook that I got digitally. It is from Coco Whale, and her sketchbook is Cute Witch Stuff. So I think I'm going to do something that is a bit more familiar to me. a drawing that's a bit more familiar. You know, we're in June. I like this. This looks nice. What do you think of the hourglass? Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. That was a total disaster. I'm just going to put that there to the side. And maybe someday, one day, I'm going to experiment with it. Because it was a total disaster. But I have a plan. Hmm. I'm wondering if I could tape that to the back of my portable palette. Because, sorry to hit the, my portable palette doesn't have a mixing tray. Okay. Now let me bring you guys up a bit. Yeah. Because I'm going to draw now. Because that thing was a total disaster. A total one. And I'm going to draw the hourglass. I have the hourglass right here. Normally, when I draw something, just to give you guys a reference, I usually find the shape in it. But this hourglass to me is kind of okay. So I'm seeing the shapes. So I just basically break down the shapes. But because I've already broken down the shape in my mind, for that reason, I haven't broken down the shapes. The pencil I'm using is a number 7B pencil. One of the things that I got used to when I went to an artist workshop is getting used to drawing with very dark graphite. So, and I'm gonna put this hourglass slanted just like how it is in the reference. I might not draw it exactly as it is in the reference, for the mere fact that okay, I need a eraser. I just recently changed my kneadable eraser. Yeah. Hi, Place of Stones. How are you? My Saturday is going pretty good. I was in the city today. Gosh, it's hot down there this morning. Yeah. It's really hot in the city. We went by Boeing and it was crowded on a Saturday morning. You could believe that. So, but how is your Saturday going? Okay. If you notice, I'm not using a ruler. That's another tip I picked up from two artists. One of them was Alfonso Dunn, and another tip on another artist, well, from the artist workshop that I attended here in my country, that was hosted by yeah, I had to put on the fan just now myself because would you believe it's raining but still hot? By Yolin. Yolin hosted the next artist workshop that I attended. And although she did talk about straight lines, one of the things she encouraged us to do is to try to do it with our hands rather than a ruler, using the ruler. She didn't say don't use the ruler, it's better when you learn to do it with your hands. So my first introduction into art, I've learned to do lines with my hands. Now it doesn't come out perfectly straight, and it's okay if it doesn't come out perfectly straight because you know, not everything in nature is perfectly straight. The only thing is, I'm a very unsure artist. Yeah, I went by Boeing and Boeing, went to pick up water, and it was hot and crowded. Couldn't believe it was so crowded on a Saturday morning. We almost got locked in the parking lot. For my international friends, Boeing and Boeing is a water company here in Belize. They sell sodas and soft drinks and other alcoholic beverages like beers. But the thing I buy from them the most is water. Okay. So what I'm seeing now, I'm drawing this. I'm seeing this. So this is what I'm drawing now. Yeah, there was, and I think it was like 8 o'clock this morning because we went early to the Boeing and Boeing. We went there. My husband stopped by the market, and then we went by Boeing and Boeing. So we were there for when they opened their doors at 8, and it was crowded. We left there like, because we were like the first people there, so we left there pretty early, like a quarter past 8. And I do have it slanted a little bit. I think now I'm gonna work on the stuff inside. So I have a box, and I'm drawing my same guidelines. Today is alcohol inks. These are homemade alcohol inks. So I made these. I got the recipe from a friend of mine, another local Belizean artist here. And yes, some of the bottles look busted, but you know, I made a total disaster of it in my first go around. I tried Yupo paper for the first time, and it was a total disaster. So I decided to do away with that and do what I'm used to. If all else failed, go back to what I know. And what I know is watercolor paper, which you can use alcohol inks on water paper. So what I did is I partitioned this off, or parted off in 4 squares, this way and this way, and that's what I'm putting here. Now it's rudimentary, meaning it's not exact. So it's not exact halfway down into quarters, but it's just for me to know where these little thing goes. That's it, because the dip of the circles should end here. And I don't have to show the top of the front one. Just kind of neat. I think my circle is gonna finish here, but I have to. Do I have to? Do I have to? I'm thinking this is too long. That's why I move. These, like I said, I'm a very moving artist. No, I had to make my own. They do sell them online, but I kind of like my own homemade one. The recipe that I use, if I could give the secret away, is just food coloring and alcohol, but the alcohol that I used is thankfully when she gave me this recipe was when COVID came. So I was able to get alcohol, um, isopropyl alcohol 90%, which was kind of cool because some of the stores were selling really strong alcohol. But you can use it with normal isopropyl alcohol 70%. At least she told me that's what she uses. But during COVID, they were selling up to 90%. So I got this during COVID, the recipe at least. Now, this, I'm going to stretch it a little further than this bottom piece here because it goes around and around. The beautiful thing about this is when we do things like these, you see me drawing the circle. I'm going to take out. I also make my own watercolor paint. Just in the event I want professional grade paint and I can't afford it, I can make my own watercolor paint. And there we go. Now I'm gonna draw the border for him. I'm wondering if I should, no, but I have to, this have to be a pinch. Yeah, and it's pretty cost effective. That's the beautiful part about it. Because it's just isopropyl alcohol and food coloring, which is pretty cost effective. See, this is turning out quite nicely. I make my own sketchbooks too. This is a sketchbook that I put together myself. It is made from, I just saw the paper, from Pecan You Create watercolor paper that I got at the stationery house. And I ring bind it together. This book right here. Let me open it up to show you guys it. So yeah, this is a book that I made myself. You guys have seen this book in plenty of the videos that I have done. So this book is not new to this channel. And it's almost finished too. So I made this from this paper here. This is the watercolor super heavy duty from You Create. I got this, sorry, at the stationery house. For my international guys out there, the stationery house is a stationery and art supply store that is here in the country of Belize. It's only located in Belize City. That's where I get a lot of my art supplies. When I draw like this is because I was told I'm an unsure artist, because artists who are more secure with their line making tend to go like this without doing the little back and forth lines. Those are called hesitation lines, I was told. So they call me an unsure artist. Okay, I think I'm done with this representation here. The pencil I'm using is actually basic pencil, Place of Stone. This I got from A&R. This is a 7B pencil. One of the things that Yolene taught me is always to go dark. Prefer go dark with a dark lid rather than a 2B. So I'm using 7B. Well, I have to. I'm not using the reference anymore simply because I want to put my own stuff in there, in my stuff. I have to. Living in the country of Belize and being a person who is attracted to watercolor more than acrylic paints means that I have to know how to get my supplies because they don't always cater to my type of art. They more cater to people who are acrylic artists. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong because the acrylic artists in Belize are the majority. I'm a minority. So I need to know how to get my own art supplies. So I need to know how to get my own sketchbooks. I mean, they just recently started selling sketchbooks, watercolor sketchbooks, but I'm more of a sketchbook artist than a artist that puts stuff on the wall. So I learned how to. I'm just putting the drop, but I wanted it to look perfect with a perfect little. Yeah. How am I looking so far? Now here, I'm thinking it'll be like a bump, but I have to be careful with this, mainly because a piece of the sand, the bottle is cut off. One of the thing I learned, this is from Raquel Hushner. She's another local, well, she is, a lot of her work is locally. She lives in one of the Antilles Islands. I don't remember, but she's Belizean, and a lot of her work is about Belize. And she moved to one of the Antilles, one of the Caribbean Antilles Islands. And one of the things she taught me is when about drawing is always remember the angle of your camera. I think, that has to do with line of sight. Line of sight, that has to do with line of sight. I line of sight is what I'm thinking, but your viewpoint, where is your horizon, stuff like that. Your viewpoint, your perspective, your line of sight, yeah, your perspective. Actually forgot the word there. But it has to do with your perspective. Where is the camera lens? And that's what I have to remember. A lot of my hesitation lines, even though look really dark, is actually really thin. Because all I do is go over it constantly. And because I'm working with a darker lead, this is a 7B lead, it when I see, let's say I put a line down, really light line, if I go over it constantly, it will darken. And then when I eraser it, it still erasers cleanly because it was a dark line. It was a very light touch. I didn't superimpose my lead into the paper. I'm thinking this kneadable eraser is Sergeant Art that I got from A&R. It's really stiff, but I had to change my kneadable eraser because that was really old. I had it for almost 6 years. I never, from the time I started art in 2018, I never changed my kneadable eraser. You guys can come at me. So I'm like, yeah, I need to change this one now. Told you, I'm a collector. It is hard for someone who's like me, that is a collector, that had to do things. It's really hard. I'm a collector. I have to stop that collecting mindset because, it's about enjoying your stuff, not just collecting them. And I said I wanted to put my own stuff in it. And all I seem to be putting in it so far is a bunch of circles. Okay. Are there any other art collectors out there like I am? Yeah, we should put a little one in here just to show that one escaped. What I want is to make sure it all lines up, like the peak of this lined up, because when something drips down, it should line up with the No, 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 no. That is hard. It is really hard. It's like it is an addiction. I would agree with that. It is an addiction. I'm thinking I don't need one of these circles, so let me erase her all to figure out the one I don't need. Yeah, that's about it. Now, being that I'm working with alcohol, I understand. I really do understand. Sometimes, we get things that we really don't need. I actually got these basic pencils to build an art set so that I could use while I was at work, and I never got to build that art set. So I just got it added to my collection, and now I'm using them. This is I put a washi tape around here. You may recognize the washi tape to recognize that this is the one I'm using. So I need to use a water-based what's the word? A water-based line art. Liner, but I'm gonna superimpose the line because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna eraser this. I should use another pencil to superimpose the line, but I'm gonna eraser this. I usually have at least 3 pencils out. Today I only have, well, yeah, I do have 3. I usually have a black pencil. This is the 7B, which is the black pencil. I have an H pencil out just in case I need to have a lighter line. Here's my H pencil that I usually keep out. And I usually have a drawing pencil out. And the drawing pencil I have out, this is another basic pencil. And I have blue lead in here, just in case. Did Hard Place of Stone, did you know that Stationery House had colored leads for mechanical pencils? See, it's blue. I'm just going over it to show you guys the color. See, it is blue. Yeah, they did. I'm not sure if they still have, because they were trying to work through their stock, because I think they're not going to sell it anymore. But at the time, I went on my no buy last year, 2023. And when I went on my no buy, they still had. So I'm not sure if they still have there. I'm using the 2H pencil just because this is the pencil I'm going to use to superimpose my lines with. These are the lines I'm going to be sure of. And so because I'm sure of them, I could put it inside my paper now. Just to let you know, if you're interested in getting colored lead for your mechanical pencil, they have it there. Well, I'm not sure if they still have, because I went on my no buy last year. And it was hard too, because like I said, it was like a month ago I went into A&R and they had these amazing looking pencils that I wanted. And I'm like, you're on a no buy, you can't get it. So I just end up getting folders instead. Yeah, they do have. They do have. You can probably. I'm not sure if they still have, because when I went there, the manager told me that she's trying to work through her stock. So what was there is what was left. So I'm not sure if all is finished. But it was last year. I went there and I went on. I'm on a no buy for art supply, but I think I might break that because my birthday is coming up, and I usually present myself something arty. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The woodless colored pencils are I the same time I bought the woodless colored pencils. And believe it or not, sorry to hit the camera, I love them. I really do. They are one of my favorite well, um I would think so. I would think so. I mean, I would think so. They still have the woodless color pencils. I really like them. Those color pencils are from Milan. Did I have it in here? Let me see if I have, because I already did the video for that. Yes, here they are. These are the Milan woodless color pencils. I already did the video for this, so you would see that. You will see this video on my channel. These are the woolens, and these are the colors that I have. The research that I did, Place of Stone, these woodless color pencils come in a 12 set and 24 set, but Stationery House only have the 12 set. And these are their colors. They, I think they come with color names. This is how, in my style, at least in my form of art, this is how they draw out. I also have the Derwent Aquatone. And this is how, and I like them more than the Derwent Aquatone because for me, the Derwent Aquatone, the color laid down is kind of pasty. Whereas with the Milan Woodless, the color laid down is kind of, it's very smooth in comparison with the Derwent Aquatone. So that's why I really like them. But I'm not, but my, I'm a watercolor. I prefer working with watercolor. So, a lot of my stuff is watercolor. I'm just putting this here because I'm going to eraser it shortly. We're about an hour in. Well, 47 minutes in. The 2H pencil kind of indent my paper a bit. But I'm okay. I'm working through the sketchbook. I am hoping to finish at least one sketchbook for 2024. That's my dream. If I could finish one sketchbook for 2024. There's a sketchbook that I have. How much pages are left in this for me to finish it? 3. 3 pages are left, and this sketchbook is going to be finished. Brave for me, guys. I have to work through at least 30 sketchbooks. Yeah. And this one has 3. I make my own sketchbooks, hard stones, like I told you. So, and I don't make it for sale. So it's not like I make it for sale. I just make it for fun. And 2022, I went on a book binding fever, and I bind a lot of books. So now I have to work, and I opened a lot of books. Open means I started to use them and I never finished them. And one of my objective in this no buy session is to finish those sketchbooks that I made. And this is one of them that I made. So, yeah. I'm almost done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first first add color, and then I'm going to do the line art. But because I'm new to this and I'm scared, I am superimposing my line. There is this set of color pencils like I really, really want. Like I said, my birthday is coming up. My birthday is August, guys. Yeah, I am. I'm almost done with this sketchbook here. But because I bought the paper by the pack, I could make more of it, which is not bad. I have a couple videos here on this channel how to make your own sketchbooks if you're interested. Place of Stone. So you can, I show the entire process, how to cut the paper and sew the paper together. This one wasn't sewed. This is wire bind, so but I have the whole process for some of these sketchbooks that I made that I need to work through. And my birthday is in August and it's coming up, and usually I present myself art supplies, and that's why this no buy is hitting me hard right now, because there are a few art supplies I like. Well, there's one in particular. It's a series of color pencils. This is the basic the color pencils. Yeah, I have my eyes on those. This is the I got this basic mechanical pencil at my local grocery store here in the village where I live. So I didn't get it on A&R or anything, but I'm sure they sell it at A&R Stationery House. But I got it at my local um, grocery store here in the village where I live. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to eraser all this. We're at 52 minutes. I don't think the painting of this should take long because we're using alcohol inks. Yeah, that's why I superimposed. Because I'm very light-handed with that 7B pencil. Yeah. I have the whole process there. I also made this activity board for my live streams, and bookbinding is one of them. So I could have been doing a bookbinding now, but we did alcohol. I am trying that too. I try to draw something every day. What I use is a art prompt generator. There's this art prompt generator called artprompts.com, and it generates art prompts for you. It's on the computer, or you can go to the website and you can just get your art prompts. And doing that, I draw something every day. I was just looking at some of the drawings I did that this generator gave me. Let me show you guys some of the works that I did. So here we are. Well, I need to finish this painting. This was what I was painting earlier. It gave me a weird neighbor that don't have a shadow. So I drew the weird neighbor. The dog has a shadow, but the neighbor doesn't. It gave me this. She huffed with exertion as she chopped firewood. These are the kind of prompts it gives. So you're able to, it asks for a brilliant sun god. This one is a brilliant sun god. So, to kind of test your art knowledge, but it has like different things. Like if you want to do an environment, you do an environment. If you want to do a study, you ask for a study. I ask for a character because most of my illustrations are characters, but it has different categories of art you can do. So whatever feels your fancy, floats your fancy, I think is the phrase. Wondering, did I finish that thought? Yeah, I did finish that thought about the color pencil series that I want. And I do mean a color pencil series because the color pencils come with just regular color pencils, it's watercolor pencils, it's pastel pencils, it's chalk pastel pencils, and metallic pencils. And I want them all. Not sure how I'm going to get them all, but yeah, yeah. I'm hoping to. That's what I've been looking at for my birthday, to present myself for my birthday, but I'm not sure. But it's not like they're super expensive pencils. It's not like they're Faber Castell, Caran d'Ache Luminance kind of level pencils. These are the more bargain friendly pencils. So yeah, yeah, it's a really good tool. I use that, and I also use an app on my phone called What to Draw. So you can download it on your. Oh, really? Tell me how that works out for you. I had a subscription. Well, it was a free subscription I had for a year of Skillshare. So I did Skillshare for a year, and I only literally used like 2 months of it. So, so let me know how domestic. Because I think with Domestica, once you buy the course, you keep the course. It's not like Skillshare where if you purchase the course but you end your Skillshare subscription, you can't access the course anymore. I think Domestico, I'm not sure, once you buy the course you could continue using the course whether you subscribe to Domestica or not. I think that's the advantage to that one. My palette. The app that I put in the chat is the phone app or the smartphone app that I use. I'm thinking you can also download it onto your tablet or computer because it's just an app. So, sorry. You know something? There is no light. I just realized we don't have any light. Sorry. I was so enjoying the process of drawing that I didn't realize that I didn't have any light. I need you to turn away from my eyes. Thank you. So now that I have my drawing here, I need to color. The colors I'm working with is 2 yellows. Do I have swatches of these somewhere? I have to find the swatch. A couple of my alcohol inks, because they're like 3 years old, is busted. But that's okay. As long as it's still good. It's still good even though I think the alcohol may have degenerated the dropper, but that's quite fine as long as there's no holes. So this is my swatch book for my inks. So I'm trying to find the alcohol inks. It should be in here. These are for my fountain pens. Yeah, I do have fountain pens. It's kind of a secret obsession of mine, fountain pens. So these are it. Homemade alcohol inks. I'm just looking to see how they all swatched out. And because they're made with food coloring, the swatches has already faded. Ooh, Angie's my friend. She gave me 4 bottles of ink, and I made 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured, I heard that was what it is. I I just I prefer books. I love art books. So I have this art book that I downloaded called Penciled Drawings, Drawing with Pencil, Graphite. So I prefer books. I find that I work better when I'm working from a book. Then I guess that's the reason why I didn't hold my script. When my year of Skillshare was over, I didn't renewed to pay for another year because I prefer holding a book in my hand. So these are not going to help me because these are all faded. But anyway, how we're going to do this? I'm trying to figure out what colors to put in here. And it's not like I have, I'm using this yellow here. This doesn't look like my handwriting, so I'm thinking this is from Angie. A couple drops of that. And I think with this you can add water. I'm thinking. Because I've worked with these before, but I worked with these like this. I just want a really light yeah, something really light. I'm thinking that is too much. I might need to sap out some. The brush that I'm using is Milan. This is the 711 series. This is their watercolor series. I bought it at the stationery house. Really like this brush. Holds a point, Taklon brush, nice and soft. I had a piece of paper here. This is just drawing paper, guys. It's not watercolor paper. But I just need to see what color I'm working with. And then I grab a red. I gotta be careful. Now, I don't want a whole red. I just want a little taste of it. Just a little taste of it. What I did is I brushed just braised the tip of this over the brush. Let's see if it gives me the, okay, that's a bit too orangey for me. I wanted a bit more yellow, so I'm gonna sap out a little bit more. I'm gonna put in a little bit more yellow. I need to put in more water. See, this is all I did. See? Because I want it to be a bit more yellow. Yeah, that looks like the color I want. Now I need it to be a little bit more lighter. If I remember this correctly, it absorbs really fast. If I remember it correctly. And I think I did. So I have to work, and I remember this paper also absorbs kind of fast, so I need to work with it really quickly. I've been using this brush for about 2 years now, and I still have my point. So any brush that can hold a point for me is a winner. Uh-oh. I think my paper is spoiling. I've had this paper for what? 2 years? Maybe 3? That's okay. Because Not like I have a lot of it left. The only thing working with these more bargain friendly paper, I recognize the absorbency of this paper. So I remember that I have to go really fast because it doesn't dry, but it absorbs really fast. And that drives me bonkers. Okay. Now there's two types of blues. There's this blue here. I think this is not my handwriting. This is my handwriting, and this blue here. I think this is the blue that Angie made, which is a little different than my blue. Her blue is a bit darker, but I want my blue. I don't want too much. I just want one dab. One dab. It's really concentrated. Ah, gotta take out some of it. I'm okay doing this. Honestly, guys, I'm okay doing this. I know some people are like, oh, you're wasting paint. I barely use them, so it's okay. Okay, that looks good. I'm wondering if I should do that. Or I should go in there with this big fella. Because I was struggling there at the end. This is also the Milan brush that I have in my hand, 711 series. But it's I think this is a number 10 brush. I just want a bigger brush because this absorbs really quickly. And if I remember, I have to work really fast. And this is a bigger area to cover. And I hate streaks. So while my paper is wet, I need to be working really fast. If I remember the alcohol inks, it absorbs really quickly. Yeah, there we go. Is this part dry somewhat? Sorry. Be careful. Sorry if I'm hitting the camera. Just trying to get this thing done quickly. And I have to angle my brush in such a way that you guys are seeing what I'm doing. And to do that, the tip of the brush hits hits the light, because the light is really low. Let me see if I could push it up a bit. It's okay. I've already finished my major lines. Yeah, we're done. There we go again on my own. Wow, what are you making? Place of stone? What's for dinner? Or as we say in Creole, where to cook? I'm using this color and this. Where for dinner? That's my local language. in Belize, a lot of us, actually all of us here in the country, Belize, have the language we speak for communication, which is English, and then we have our own home local language. My home local language is Creole. So, so when you hear me get mixed up with my English, it's because it's my Creole getting in the way of my English. And I asked it in English, "What are you cooking?" And then I said, "Where to cook," which is the Creole, or "What for dinner." Okay, I'm just gonna make this dry a bit because I kind of saturated. I'm trying to figure out right now if I want to put like a loose border around this. Let me see, just something like that. Ugh. Might have to get my egg out. Yeah, I think I'll do my loose border. Sorry, 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 sorry. Would you lift a bit, please? Thank you. While that dries a bit. Okay. And that's because I'm going with this color here for my, but I want to go with purple for this here because, let's make the purple. Let's make the purple and then we can see what happens. So it's 1, 2, 3 drops. And then I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 drops. It makes an amazing purple. See? Purple. So what I want to do is, while you're drying, I'm going to go around you guys here with this purple. And then I'm gonna go around here. See, I told you about the point this makes. Really nice point. And points, as a person who loves watercolor, having a brush that can hold its point is important to me. $12 I'm gonna stop. I'm almost finished. I'm just waiting for these parts to dry, and then I'm going to color the or paint the frame. I work really slow, so even though my mind is surprised that I took an hour to do this, I have to keep in mind that I work really slow. Let me bring this in closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. Because this live sessions is all about showing you guys my process. You know, things that I would not normally show in a session, I'm showing here. So I'm going to share some of this purple in here because I'm going to put it in my background. But I don't want it to be that dark. So I want to lighten the purple a bit. I'm going to grab my big brush again. Fill it with water. Put a bit in there. Yeah. And then I'm going to switch this around so I don't stretch over these other two colors in case I need to use them again. Fill my big brush with water. Put it in here. To kind of lighten this a bit to see if it's lighter color I want. Yes, it is the color I want. And then we're gonna paint. Tell you, this dries really quickly, so I have to incorporate my fast moving skills to work with this. Like here, I can't leave here. I could leave that part alone a bit, and since I'm coming down, I could leave that there and then bring it down here. In here, we bring this down here. Okay, almost done. Here I go again on my own. Okay. Almost finished. Now I need to make sure I have enough ink in my brush because I'm doing a really big section, this section here. And oh yeah, I have a lot of ink in my brush. I just dropped some ink because I need to now go all the way here. You need to be really careful, and that's what I appreciate about these brushes because it holds a really decent point. And my paper is going to warp. I'm already feeling it buckling on me, but I need to work really quickly, and that's the reason why I turn my palette around. I'm a very moving artist, so I'm always moving my sketchbooks. Maybe that's the reason too I don't like working on paper, because it's easier for me to move these sketchbooks around than paper. But I usually clip my paper to a board anyway. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just checking to see if it went through to the other side because it was a lot of ink that went down just now. Almost finished. And then I have to wait for, let me see, this part is dry. So now I have to wait for the entire background to dry so that I could paint the Um, okay. Almost finished. Almost finished. We are almost there. And we are done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. We are done. And it kind of looks like it belongs with each other. Yeah, I had to work fast. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I need to dry this, but I need to dry it super fast. So I'm thinking I'm going to mute you guys for a minute because this is not going to dry in half an hour. So I need to pull out my drying tool. So I'll mute you guys for a minute and then I'm going to come back in about 5 minutes. Sorry about that. It's now dry. I had to dry it artificially. Usually I prefer my things to dry naturally, but with this, because the paper absorbed so much, and it's alcohol, I knew that it wouldn't dry in the time I needed to dry. So I did a bit of, I used that. That's actually a tool I got when I wanted to be a scrapbooker. I wonder if this is gonna, I should add a bit more red to this. I'm scared of adding red to this because let's put a drop of red here, just a drop. And let's fold. Let's see if you're the color I want. No, I need to add a bit more red. Let's see if you're the color I want. Kinda. I need more red. Okay. Are you guys hearing me good? Did I unmute you guys? I don't want it to saturate it with red. And besides, I only have a few more things left. I'm thinking to add a bit more blue to that concoction there that I have. Or you should just make the little pebbles green. When all else fail, paint it green. Now, if you notice, these alcohol inks that I made do not, they layer on top of each other. They don't really dissolve because, you know, I kind of went overboard a bit there. I'm trying to cover it, but it's not covering. They're transparent and they don't, yeah. So now we're gonna go mute you again and I'm going to dry this off. Yeah, that's because I lightened the color quite a bit. The beautiful thing about with these homemade alcohol markers now, alcohol inks, you can add water to lighten the colors because they're really concentrated. I think I want to go with blue for this entire thing. You think we could make a brown? I think we could make a brown. I'm trying to remember how to make a brown. I made it before. I know it's this color here. I think it's this color in green, if I'm not mistaken. Let's grab the green. All I'm gonna do is put a tip of it again in here. Just a tip of it. Yeah, that was too much. But just enough to I'm gonna use a little brush. And all I'm gonna do is, yeah, do that. Nope, the green just takes over, man. That's all it does. It just takes over. I think I just made a black. Well, I did that. I made a black. I didn't make a brown. I made a black. So I'm gonna leave that color there for right now. And I'm gonna add this color to the green. Yeah, I'm gonna do disaster right now. I'm gonna add this color to the green and see what color I made. Is it a brown? It is a brown. So I did 3 drops of the green and 1 red. And I made a brown. Put a little bit of water in it just to kind of dilute it a bit. I might need to add some yellow. I'm going to use this yellow, this busted yellow. You can still put up a little bit. Yeah, see? It still comes up. It still works. Thank you, Jesus. Put 2. This is dangerously. Put 3 drops of yellow in this. Gonna kind of lighten the brown, and it is lighter. It is the color I want. It's just, yeah, see? I made a brown. And I made a black. Amazingly. But for this part here, I want my brown to be very light. So I'm gonna bring out some, because these parts are gonna be dark and the other part is gonna be really light. So I'm gonna bring out some so I could add some color, add some water to it. Yeah. Now this is going to be more on the dark side. Okay. It's all dry. I could rest my hand comfortable without feeling too ashamed. See, I made a brown. And I thought it was impossible. Nothing is impossible. Once you believe. And I did believe I could make a brown. It's one of my favorite colors. Where are we? Oh, we're about 30 minutes away from closing. And we're doing really good because I made a brown, I made a black, I made a purple. And all these colors are colors that did not come in my original set of 8. I made somewhat of a sand color. Okay, there we are. I should say that today's challenge for those who are joining us that are new is alcohol inks. And I tried the Yupo paper and I failed miserably at it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go when I go off camera someday, maybe not today, but definitely someday, I'm gonna practice with that Yupo paper because I failed miserably at it. So, and I like how the brown dries out. It dries out pretty matte. So, there's what I want to do and what I'm going to do. What I want to do is I want to add maybe a very rich purple to that. Let me see what happens when I take this color and put it in the side here and I add a bit of blue. What happens to it? More blue. Does it turn the color I want? Yes, it does. It turned the color I want. I'm going to add a drop in there because I'm not going to use this color again. And it turns the color I want. I want a very cool purple. Something a bit different than that. But I'm wondering if that's a bit too cool for my liking. This was the blue that I used. Let's put a drop in here. See how concentrated these are? And we're gonna just put it in here. Yeah, now we're talking. Oh gosh, I changed the entire projection of this. But it kind of looks okay. Let me see if I put another drop of that and see what we got. Yeah, I think that's the color I want. I want a really cool blue. I think what I did with these papers, I don't even remember. These are just scrap papers that I have. But I really want a really rich purple. I could leave that, let it dry on its own. Because I want a really rich purple. I'm gonna go down here. Let's go here. The reason I did this one and didn't finish this one is because I want this to have a saturation and my brush was way too wet for it to have the saturation I want. So that's the reason why I did it that way. And what I like about it is that the color is changing as I put it down. There's color changing going on. Kind of remind me of some of those granulating watercolor papers. Watercolor paper now. Paints that change color. Because I'm seeing the purple, but I'm also seeing the blue trying to push through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it with this brush. And I'm going to grab this one here, which is the number 2 brush from the same series, Milan. And I think it's better if I work with a smaller brush, especially with these little ones here. And you can see how much water this grabs. So I'm not minimizing myself at any point. I actually need to grab more water from this here than it's here. Okay. See, I'm moving it again. I tell you, I'm a very movie artist. Very movie. I like to move my canvas around. In this case, sketchbook. It's not like I don't have an easel. I have a desktop easel right next to me. I just like to move it around. And once my canvas, in this instant sketchbook, is on a easel, I can't move it. And I am a very moving artist. I like to move my stuff around. We're almost done, guys. We're almost there. Almost there. What I'm gonna do after I'm finished with this, I need to line art it. Because what you're seeing is the pencil sketch. And I haven't decided the color. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I might need to pull my drawing tool again because I need to next work on the glass for the hourglass. You can see that red coming through for this background, and I think I see a bit of yellow and a bit of green. Remember, I used the green and the rose color to make the brown. And so, oh my goodness, who would have ever thought that I would be doing a painting with alcohol inks for my live stream? Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Sorry to hit the camera. I might need to push you guys back a bit. Yeah. Okay, let me mute you a bit, and then I'm going to finish dry this out. And then we're going to work with line art. We have about 20 minutes to go. Okay, I said I was going to use the black, didn't I? I did say I was going to use the black, so let me turn my palette around, because I did make a black. Add a bit more water to it, because the alcohol is already dry. This is how it dries out if you're noticing my palette. Look at those beautiful colors there. Like when I mix the color and it starts to dries out, that's the color that it's left with. So now I'm just going to start working on this part of the hourglass, and I said I was going to use the black. And you can see the red coming out. You can see the green, the blue to some extent coming out in this black. I'm using the bigger brush because I need to work fast, very fast, too fast for my liking. Because this paper alcohol inks absorbed quickly, very quickly for my liking, too quickly for my liking. Okay, that half is finished. Told you I'm a very movie artist. You know what this reminds me of? Those Kuretake granulating watercolors that came out. This is reminding me of those. Not saying that these are those or this is how they did it, but this is what it reminded me of, how the colors separating. When I mixed the pure color together and the separation started, this is the color that's reminding me of. Which I don't mind with this illustration here. You can do it a bit of color separation. However, okay, one more thing. There was this cartoon, Jackie Chan cartoon, and Uncle always said, one more thing. Yeah. I know I'm gonna ruin it, but I need to ruin it for me to feel happy about myself. There we go. Yeah, I need to ruin it for me to feel happy about myself. Okay, let me mute you guys and thank you, Place of Stone. And then I'm going to do my line art. Because I was working with alcohol inks, I didn't want to line art it before because I didn't know how it was going to affect the ink work, the line art work, sorry. So I'm going to do that now. So sorry, I'm going to use these liners, 4 and an 8. So I'm going to use my number 8 first. Just to do the broad outline. Told you I'm an unsure artist. The line art shouldn't be this long because I've already established my my boundaries already, so it's just to separate them. That's all we're doing now, separating the lines. And because I do illustrations, it is very important that I do line work. There's some illustrations you can do lineless, but it only appears lineless, guys. It's colored line work. Now these liners I got in the jazzy art thing that he brought out like 4 years ago. Yeah, I got myself a sample of it, and I was able to get these in it. And I'm working through my collection. You see how long that was? Like I said, we need to use out the stuff. So now we need to, I know I did dotted lines in here. I need to join them. One thing I didn't like is that big thing that I did, but that's okay. I am okay with it. I'm okay with it if you are. Okay, there we go. And now we need to do, this is the number 8 one I'm using. I'm doing the hourglass. Now, please remember when I'm doing line work, I'm holding my breath. I'm not breathing, guys. I'm not breathing at all. Because I have to be sure of these lines. It's not like when I was drawing when I was... Okay, where are we now? We're inside. So I'm going to grab the number 4. Since we're now inside the hourglass. Yeah, you would have thought I would have gone down the hourglass. No. I wanted to go down that way. Because this is where I fixed the mistakes that I did. And that was a mistake I did when I did the original drawing. And we're going to come up this way. Oh, I came up too big. But that's okay. My line art is cartoony. Okay, where are we? We're now inside. I think I could go even smaller. No. Yep. This is number 2. Okay. I'm just putting dots. Because I need to... You know what I forgot? The outside one. The one thing I learned, I don't remember who said it, is that you don't need to line every single thing. So I'm not lining every single thing. But like the more lining out. See how we're looking? So now I need to establish, should I use the 4 here? It's okay. This line here. Okay, done. Almost there. Almost there. I'm sorry, guys, for not talking. Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm just concentrating on the line work. I should be talking. I should be saying something. I'm so sorry. I just realized I didn't say anything for like almost, what, 10 minutes? Because I'm so concentrating on this line work, you know, just da da da. Just concentrating on the line work. So let's go back to the number 4, and then we're going to outline these 5 bubbles here. I'm wondering if I should outline I'm not outlining my shadow. What I'm outlining is these bubbles here. But I keep coming in when I'm not supposed to. Okay, I didn't go in that time. So, yeah. OMG. What color am I using? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm ruining it. I'm ruining it. That's what I'm doing. It's ruins. I got that saying from Lord of the Rings. Schmeagol. When he and Samwise Gamgee was frying a fish, and Samwise, no, it wasn't fish, it was rabbits, and Samwise cooked the rabbit rather than eat it raw, and Smeagol said, "You ruins it." Sorry, I just love that line. You ruins it. Okay, I think we're good now. With a few minutes to spare, so I am going to put a date here somewhere. And wow, 2 hours. And we did this with alcohol inks. This is alcohol inks, not watercolor. Falling in love with alcohol inks again. Definitely something I need to work with. Definitely something I need to familiarize myself with again. It was an adventure. It was definitely an adventure. It's something that I think we should explore again in the future. Definitely this alcohol ink. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. Have a wonderful, beautiful, and safe, sorry to hit the camera, weekend, Saturday. Don't forget my next video drops on Monday, where we'll still be exploring glitter special effects crayons. I think we're doing the walkthrough on Monday, so look out for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. This has been an adventure for me. I am so grateful that I was able to explore it. You guys can make your own alcohol inks, so that's what I use, my own homemade alcohol inks. And you saw how I did the color mixing, and how, sorry, I was able to get this color, because these were colors, brown, black, the purples were colors that was not in my alcohol ink collection. I actually had to mix those. So you guys saw how I did that entire process. Guys, thank you so much again. I can't say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you enough for joining me on this live stream. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.